This is section 9.6b part 2. We've been focusing in this section on taking a GCF out first. So let's look at number 3 together. Between 24, 10, and 6, our GCF is 2. I'm going to write it with a large brackets and put the 2 out front. Now we have to look at the inside. What's left is 12x squared, 5x, and minus 6. This is the real problem that we're going to be working with. Well, 12 times negative 6 is negative 72. And the 5 is what it has to add to. So we multiply, we add, and now we're going to try to choose. 1 and negative 72. That doesn't work. 2 and negative 36. That doesn't work. 3 and negative 24. That doesn't work. Now, if you need to use a calculator for some of these, that's okay. 4 and negative 18. That's still too high. 5 doesn't go in. 6 and negative 12. That's negative 6. We're getting very close. Does 7 go in? No. Does 8 go in? No. Well, at this point, we have to kind of wonder, because 8 times 9 is negative 1, and we've reached the end. We say to ourselves, we must have made a mistake. Did you see it? I hope you did. Well, we have to go back and really examine our problem. Is 2 times 12 24? Is 2 times 5 10? Is 2 times 6 6? Oh, there's our problem. And this is a good example of why we need to make sure when we're factoring, we really very carefully take out that GCF. So now let's go back. I'm going to build another little box over here, and I think you'll see the problem is going to go very quickly. 12 times negative 3 is negative 36. That adds to 5. Well, 1 times negative 36 is negative 35. 2 and negative 18 is negative 16. 3 and negative 12 is negative 9. But 4 and negative 9 is negative 5. So to find our correct numbers, it's negative 4 and positive 9. So that just goes to show it's still very easy to make mistakes, even with GCFs, if you're not careful. So let's bring down our 2, and let's move through this problem fairly quickly. We replace the positive 5x with negative 4 and positive 9x. Now we look for a GCF of the first 2. But before we write that GCF down, don't forget to pull along that 2 outside. What's the GCF of 12x and 4x? Well, it's 4x, of course. So we take that out, and we have 3x minus 1 left over. We think about to ourselves what goes in the middle. Negative 3 divided by negative 1 is positive 3. So let's write down our answer. 2, 3x minus 1, and 4x plus 3. There we go. Our final problem on this lesson looks at the bottom. 11x squared, 77x, and 66. I hopefully you see that 11 is our GCF. Factors of 6 that add to 7. Well, that's 1 and 6. Very simple. Now, do you see that the shortcut applies here? The number in front of the x squared is a 1. So these two numbers are our factors, and so here is the answer. X plus 1, x plus 6. This is where the shortcut really comes into play. Our perfect square for today is 21 squared. 21 squared is just a little bit over 400, and in fact it's 441.